Host Peter Thomas Fornatow back with you in the Brooklyn bunker once again after a 10, it was supposed to be 10, and then it ended up being 11-day sojourn to the United Kingdom. Had a flight canceled, was super bummed because I missed the family so much, but then I realized there's worse things in this life than an extra day in London. Made the best of it. Been operating from behind all week back here in the bunker, but carved out a couple hours to look at Santa Anita and Gulfstream. Going to be talking about those races with you. And I'm going to be joined by a man, I don't know where in the world he is. We'll ask him, but you know him. You love him. He's Jonathan Kinchin. What's up, JK?
PTF, yeah, I'm in this some sort of a maroon dome. I don't know what it is, but it's working. It's this nice sound, nice audio, no echo here. Getting ready for this March Madness. Should be a lot of fun. I haven't been so excited in a long time. As most who know me personally or follow me like on social, my wife and her family are massive Duke fans, and I'm a sports fan, and so being in their circle, I've gotten drawn into the Duke situation as well. I'm a Texas guy first. If they were to play each other, I would root for Texas. But other than that, I'm a Duke guy. And I will say this for those who are getting involved in March Madness. I don't know when you'll see this. You'll probably have missed your bracket by then, but I'm calling it early. This is the best college basketball team I've ever seen. And it's not just that I see that, feel that, believe that. The KenPom rankings, the famous KenPom rankings, have them as the most efficient basketball team in the last 25 years. They are sensational. They do not have a weakness. They all love each other so much. There's no bickering. There's no palms up ever. They will win the national championship.
And very confident words from you, JK. What kind of price are they currently for those that indulge in such things?
Well, if you knew that when I knew that, they were 10-1. They're 3-1 now.
Okay. So not exactly bet the house kind of stuff. But hey, if you want a little action, that's JK's idea. I'll tell you what, Texas, on the women's side of things, women's bracket, very, very interesting this year. You know, I get the idea that the depth of women's basketball is such that maybe some people want to hop in at the Sweet 16 rather than following from the jump. But do you give the Texas women's team a chance to make the Final Four?
Yeah, they had a 4-week run or a 4-game run, I think, where they beat South Carolina, they beat LSU. They're cooking. So it's a proud university that's very good at every sport. And we're good at baseball. We're good at even the obscure ones. We're good at swimming and diving. We've got a handful or more of national championships. So it doesn't surprise me at all. The women are doing well as well. And yeah, I think that the women's basketball, it's really kind of picked up over the last few years. And I think that the viewership is going to be a lot higher this year.
It's going to be fun to check it out. I heard a rumor that you tried out for the men's water polo team and didn't make the cut. Is that true?
No, people used to say, "Did you play sports in college?" I said, "Yeah, I played video games," which is true. Which is
you
true.
Represented the school famously. Tell that story. It's been a while.
Yeah, I won 100% contest at Texas in NCAA, the football, the ESPN or the EA Sports game, and was one of 16 that went to Vegas to compete for $25,000. I lost to the kid from Florida State in the Final Four. So that happened.
You've had worse experiences involving contests in Vegas. We'll just leave that one right there. Only mention of that tournament this year on our airwaves, actually.
Yeah, I can tell you what, I can get a Diet Coke for free at the video game tournament. So
I'm falling off the screen here.
And I stayed at the Mandalay Bay.
Double snap. Yeah. Gulfstream Park on this Saturday. We're going to start off with a stake race. Gabaldon returning to the races. This one, last seen at Royal Ascot, as you'll recall. Gabaldon almost made me look really smart for a minute on TV in the UK when I advised this one as the American you wanted at the whole Ascot Festival. So ran a terrific race. Maybe moved a hair early. Got nailed coming up the hill in that Windsor Castle Stakes. But he's back, JK. And this is a horse who has a figure, an 82 figure as a 2-year-old. That would mean he's going to have these over a barrel. I'll say this. I wish that Gabaldon had like a little more exciting looking of a work tab for this return to the races, but I'm not going to get off. What I am going to do is play one backup line with number 1, Turbulent Force in here, the speedy George Weaver who has the right post. This is the horse that I would like if Gabaldon wasn't in the race. Sometimes when there's a favorite that I really like but don't like 100% trust, I'll take that attitude. Say, well, who would I like if that horse wasn't in the race, and play one thin backup line with them? That's what I'm going to do with one backup line with Turbulent Force. But it's all about number 7, Gabaldon, making the return to the races here after last being seen at Royal Ascot. Who do you like? Are you with Gabaldon or against? Let's ask it that way.
Yeah, definitely with, like you mentioned, that 82 as a 2-year-old goes a long way, right? And it's not like we're 82 and that we're doing something different. It's 82 and we're back to the scene of the crime, going to flat 5. And with a trainer in Jose D'Angelo, who's 21% for the meet, 19% overall throughout his career, a young and up and coming. He's arrived, I would say, a young trainer who has a lot of upside, I think, to continue to improve in this game. I'll single the 7 Gabaldon, but I'm going to use the 6 No Evidence as my single backup. I thought the horse ran. He has that 2-year-old form, ran into Governor Sam, who we were kind of close to. Governor Sam running those big races at Keeneland for black type thoroughbreds and Swinbank Stables. No Evidence ran 3rd there as a 2-year-old, comes back in the 3-year-old debut and wins. And wins by open links with nice early pace figures and a nice fast late figure. So if Gabaldon doesn't show up, I think No Evidence could wire this field. I'll go 7A, 6B.
Let's go to race number 8, $10,000 claimers, fillies and mares, this bread and butter stuff, going 5 furlongs on the synthetic. I was going to spread it around a little bit in here, starting with number 5, American, of course, who I thought was a little bit interesting, off the Mirage claim, got back races that can win. Pretty simple case there. Number 2, Founders Day, I thought was interesting. A tough old customer who's in form, and I thought might be dangerous right back. The third one I wanted was the 4, Happy Ride, a flow upgrade, coming out of the last, taking a drop, and I thought would be the speed under Paco. 5, 2, and 4 for me in leg B of this pick 5. Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, look, when it comes to a lot of these synthetic races, and I better get used to it when it pops up in New York, it's hard for me to have a strong opinion, right? And I think it's kind of the way those races are designed. They're designed to kind of be feel a little turfy, where the finish can be just kind of a blanket finish. I'm going to go 4, 5, 6 here. I don't have a strong opinion either way. I know the 4 and the 6, their last most recent races are on the dirt, but they were good races on the dirt, and they have past races that make me feel comfortable about their synthetic form. So 4, 5, 6 for me. Hold my nose and try to get to the next one.
Let's go to race number 9, an allowance race for fillies and mares on the turf. Big full field here and an interesting contest. JK, we'll keep it with you.
Yeah, I'm going to go 6'10". Vino Rouge was in that allowance race at Saratoga this summer. That was a really quality allowance race. It like almost felt like a mini stake where mixologists ended up winning because Vino Rouge was disqualified. Comes back with the blinkers, making the 4-year-old debut. It just one that has a lot of talent. Been working on the turf at Palm Beach Downs for Tony Dutrow. This is the one that felt like the class to me. If this horse can run that race that they ran against mixologists back in August, I think Vino Rouge is going to be extremely tough to beat. And then coming out of that same race, Goa for Chad Brown was a horse that he had got internationally, made that debut in that allowance race. This horse was a horse that took money on debut. And you got to remember up at Saratoga, Pete, I know you know this, there's the ability to have turf works. So there's no surprises. You're not guessing, does this first time U.S. horse who's been running on synthetic, can he run for Chad? Someone, and a lot of people watch the horse work in the morning. So that 2-1, 3-1, the horse was bet to on North American debut. It's not just hocus pocus. There's a reason for it. That yielding ground might not have suited that day. Shows up here after a year being in the Chad Brown program. I think Goa could run better. I'll just use those 2. The 6 and the 10, I think, are the numbers.
6 and 10 are the numbers. I like the 6 as well, but I had as my second pick that Vino Rouge. I put without cause the 7 runner on top. Very simple case for me on this one. A speedy sort who just looks to improve from 3 to 4, and I thought had a chance to maybe shake loose in here. As for Vino Rouge, as you mentioned, first start at 4, strong numbers at 3, could get a really good stalking or maybe mid-pack closing type trip if she's ready. This field probably a little bit easier than what she's been facing. I just wasn't 100% sure about being ready off the break, so I went 7, 6, and I'll take a longer look at your 10 runner as well as we close out our thoughts on race number 9 and pivot to race number 10, where we're back on the synthetic. $35,000 claimers going 5 will be appearing in this one. And this was another for me. I was going to use 3 and hope for the best. The 5 running Rocket. Thought that was a very tough trip last time, chasing a loose winner while wide. Fits well off the run, 2 back, where the horse got a 90 on the synthetic also. The 4 Vamos Viejo, I thought could be the best closer in a race that looked like had plenty of speed. This is a horse I feel like has been pace compromised in several of the recent efforts. And then the 3 Jolly Boss, I thought would be in a terrific attacking spot for Safi. Didn't want to get beat by that one. 5, 4, and 3 for me in race number 10. You like those numbers, or you want to throw some others into the mix?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's still a sprint, a 5 furlong sprint. And so in situations like this, I'm looking for pace. It's still the same idea, though. And in most of these races, it's hard to really lean on anything. If I was going to lean hard on one, it would be the 5 running Rocket, who has early speed and has that big number, a couple back on the synthetic. But I thought this was one that I wouldn't mind spreading just a little bit. 5, 6, 7, and 9. And if you look at all of those horses, I think they all kind of have one thing in common. They either have a little bit of early lick, some pace, or they have they're in the kind of the upper echelon of final figures. And that's what I look for in these 5 furlong races, even if it's a turf sprint. I'm looking for a horse that can be connected, but then also can not necessarily finish the race, but the overall final time is one that you can trust. 5, 6, 7, 9, nothing too clever here, nothing to write home about, but I wanted to make sure that I had some coverage in this spot.
We close out this Pick 5 at Gulfstream on Saturday with race number 11 for these 3-year-old maidens going a mile and a 16th. And JK, we'll ask you the key question when it comes to this one. How are we going to get paid?
Well, I mean, this is a tricky one, right? Because there's the 12 is going to be my top choice. I'll go ahead and say that now. The 12 for Brendan Walsh, who I thought ran well, Egyptian, comes back as a gelding now as well. Gets Lasix for the first time, so looking to take another step forward. The only concern I had with the 12 Egyptian was the horse was 30-1 on debut, which I thought was a little bit concerning, considering. That you would think he would be a little bit more bet in that situation, but nonetheless. Now, the 4 horse I'm going to use, this is $1 million son of Songbird. It's Curlin, which doesn't make you warm and cozy when it comes to a turf runner. But I just think there's probably some talent. If you're $1 million horse, you're probably a good mover. You've got some good pedigree. Bill Mott gives one chance on the dirt and then says, all right, let's try the turf. Sure, maybe he's guessing. He worked the horse on the turf twice. Let's give this one a shot. There's just too much pedigree, too much talent to not think the horse can't run just a little bit. And then I want to use the 6-7 as well, which is the George Weaver and the Jose D'Angelo. It's hard without numbers next to the horses. The Weaver has some speed, tactical. George will never take that away from him. Ran well last time on the grass. And then Buzz Rocket for Jose D'Angelo, who seemed to improve just a little bit after getting claimed from Bill Mott. This horse had shown some ability, most of it on the dirt. Then Jose D'Angelo claims for $50,000, puts right back in protected maiden special weight, and comes running late in a race going 9 furlongs on the grass. So I'll use those 2 as well. And I'll use them all as A's. It's not one where I'm going to grade it. I don't want to give too much love to the Curlin Songbird because it is that dirt pedigree. I don't want to give too much to the poorly drawn, didn't get bet first out, Brendan Walsh, who's my top choice. I'll use the other 2, and that's where I'll go in this one. I'll go 4 deep.
I was going to mention 4 runners as well. We have 2 of them the same, but my top pick was going to be number 3, AP Kid. This was a horse I thought had a chance to be the best speed and looked to me like one who would appreciate the surface switch because the dam was very competitive in stakes races on the green. Wasn't a winner, but an Honor AP also, I don't hear Honor AP and think turf, but the early returns with turf routers are good for that one. So a little pedigree, little pace play with the 3. Totally agree with you about Golden Channel. Just ran well enough on turf last time to get another chance. Had the same concerns about the 12 and the way that one was bet. Another runner very similar, the 9 here, another horse that I feel like I wish the horse got bet a little bit, but ran well enough that I didn't want to get beat. So I was going to grade it out a little bit. 3 and 6 as A's, 9 and 12 as B's to close out this pick 5 at Gulfstream on Saturday. We've got a lot more show for you. We are going to be back right after these messages on the audio side. If you are watching along on YouTube, do us a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We know from our stats there's a lot of people out there who are watching who are not subscribed. We have plenty of YouTube exclusive content and a whole lot more coming for the Triple Crown season. So subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Find another video on the In the Money channel now. We're going to have plenty of them for this weekend. And once again, if you're listening, we'll be back right after this.